Welcome everyone. This is Rahul Reddy. I'm a CLAT mentor with Career Launcher Bangalore. I have with me Akanksha. Akanksha has secured an All India rank of 148 and a state rank of 17. Is that right?
So 154. So
Okay, sorry, my bad. 154 All India and state rank
70.
17. Okay. So, congratulations, Akanksha.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. In a CLAT which was full of surprises, one particularly cruel surprise was releasing the ranks on midnight of 11th, sorry, midnight on the day before CLAT, right? So when did you actually check and get to know your rank?
I guess I did it like 2 minutes after the results were released. I
Okay,
just couldn't keep myself from looking at the results.
okay. Mhm. So you got a message from somebody,
Yeah, I did.
right? And what was the first reaction when the login opened and you could see your rank?
I couldn't believe it, honestly.
Hmm.
I mean, the exam didn't go as well as I had thought it would. I skipped a whole section in math for AR,
Mhm.
and that like brought me down quite a bit. So
Hmm.
I couldn't believe that I'd gotten that rank, but then I downloaded the PDF like almost 6, 7 times, and that's when I realized that was my rank.
Right. And what was the reaction of your parents?
They were really happy.
So, texting and calling other people in the family, telling everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, so let's rewind the clock back a little bit because even today, law is not, let us say, the most popular choice when it comes to students after 12th. The the massively popular IIT, JEE, and medical, etc., are the first choice. Not that there's anything wrong in choosing engineering medicine. It is just that we want to say it's okay to opt for a different path. Right?
Yes.
So let's start with your choice. How did you realize that law is the right profession for you?
So for like one thing, I wanted to do UPSC later on in life.
Mhm.
So I was pretty clear that I'll give UPSC, and I wanted to look for something that is kind of similar to the syllabus that UPSC has, so I can like
Right.
kind of prepare for it simultaneously. And
Right.
my first choice, I guess, until 10th, I was thinking about doing medical,
Okay.
but then I started looking into law, as in like I started looking into CLAT, and I realized that this is pretty good for what I want to do in the future, and that's how I started preparing for it, but then I just fell in love later on. You could,
Okay. So that's wonderful. You have a plan which actually goes beyond law. That's the next step also,
yeah.
right? Good. Mapped out. And any easy acceptance or some discussion, debate in the family about this choice?
I mean, that like when someone says they want to do something different from medical and engineering, unless there's someone in the family who does that,
Mhm.
there's a bit of like questions that your parents ask you, that why do you want to do this or stuff like that, and that's what happened to me. But then, as they realized later on that this actually a good choice, they agreed to it.
Okay. No, I raised this because there are a lot of students who might be in a similar position
Yeah.
and they have to convince their parents. So, some tips on how they can convince their parents?
I guess you can look at, you can show them future job opportunities and maybe the placements of law graduates that have, so that they have this like security that the kid is going to do well.
Right. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's good for students who are listening in, who are looking at law as a career, and parents who might be watching the video. Law is no longer about just going to courts or civil and criminal case, though that aspect still is there. But there are many more aspects. People join law firms, people join corporates, people go for judiciary, they do further research in law. There are areas like environmental law, corporate law, taxation law, mergers and acquisition, alternate dispute resolution. So a lot of interesting areas in law, intellectual property law for that matter. So that is one way. And at least at the top colleges, including NLS Bangalore, where Akanksha will go, placement is normally not a problem, and there are almost everybody who wants placement gets it, and a bunch of law firms and corporates who want to actually recruit from there. Good. So, do you remember the first day that you joined Career Launcher or the first class that you attended?
Yeah, yeah. I guess it was an RC class,
Okay,
and it was at Career Launcher Malaysia 3 years ago.
okay,
I was like, I just finished 10th, and I
okay,
decided to take that class, and it was pretty new for me,
mhm, okay.
a
So, as you
different experience. Yeah.
as you went through the classes and the tests and various discussions, what are the learnings on the path?
Honestly, 11th and half of 12th, I wasn't that serious with respect to class.
Okay,
Yeah, especially with GK and mock analysis and stuff.
right. Mm,
It was just like I gave the mock and I left it. I threw it at some part of my house and I just kept on going with stuff. So I wouldn't want to tell about my preparation then, but as I started like interacting more with the faculty at Career Launcher, and I started focusing more on my preparation in general, I actually started liking whatever I'm doing. So yeah,
mm. But I'm sure the while yes, the seriousness came later. I'm sure the first year had its effect in terms of the basics,
yeah,
like understanding the reading, the various types of questions, the premises, the conclusions, and basics of contracts and other things, basics of constitution, law, etc. So one of the things that parents sometimes are surprised when they come to career launcher centers is that why are the classes so noisy, right? I'm sure they don't see it in IIT training or in medical training, but that's partly because there's so much debate, discussion, and argument that is happening in class, right? So
yeah.
you participated in this class discussions.
I mean, I used to look forward to those. I
Okay,
like debating in general, but my school
okay,
didn't have those many opportunities. As in when I came to 10th and 11th and whatever. So like when I came to Career Launcher and I could debate with people who had similar interests, I enjoyed it quite a lot.
right. And another thing that comes up a lot when we talk to the toppers is that there is an atmosphere in the center where other people, and obviously we can't say that every student is serious, but there is a good chunk of serious and motivated students who are, you know, cooperating with each other, also in some effect competing and pushing each other to do better.
Yeah.
So you had a group like that?
I had a few friends, but then we were like not that close. We used to discuss mocks and we used to send resources to each other, but then it wasn't that of a close group. So
So you didn't think it was intense competition and all that?
no, it was pretty healthy, honestly.
Okay, good. Right. So, to some extent, I think what we're trying to say is that a person doesn't have to be, alone. It's not a solo thing. There are, other than you and the teachers, there's also people who study with, and sometimes that enhances the experience of preparing. So, coming to the day of the CLAT exam, where was your center?
Ambedkar.
Ambedkar. Okay, I was there too. Right. Big center with lot of students. Right. So, any nerves going into CLAT?
I was a dropper, so I'm a dropper, so I was used to the environment already. But
Hmm.
then, yeah, I guess there is a bit of nervousness when you reach the center. I was like talking non-stop with my mom, just trying to calm myself down, and I guess it worked out in the end.
Right. Okay. Now, when we look at people who will be giving the CLAT exam next year and the year after that, we normally want people who have achieved this year to give advice. And sure, you remember we brought in a whole bunch of first year NLS students from last year to give
Yeah,
tips. I think not necessarily that they will say something different, but in a way they communicate in your language, so it makes it easier for
Yes.
it to go into go down,
Yes.
right? So what would you tell people who are preparing for 26 and beyond?
I would first like to tell them that please focus on your reading sectionals.
Hmm.
Do how many as ever reading sections you can, time them so that at least if your math and GK is not that good right now, you can compensate it with English and legal and stuff. Then read newspapers daily. That's something I did different from last year, and that too was like pretty insisted upon by the faculty and a few other seniors, that I started doing it, and that helped me in my preparation a lot, with even with AILET and CLAT. So that's something else. And please, 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 like practice math.
I'm sure you did that, right? You did that a lot.
Yeah, I did, but then I
Should have done
committed a
more.
blunder during the exam.
Okay,
So
that's okay. But you still got a score. It's not that.
yeah, yeah,
So one of the things you remember, we've always kept saying, look, maths, even though it's only 12 questions, will be a critical factor, and it
yes,
was this year also. Good. So broadly, that's all we have planned for. Mm. So once again, a big congratulations, Akanksha. Your parents again deserve the credit, so convey my congratulations to them. And anybody else who was a part of your prep, and I don't know if the school was lenient or not, and did they help? And did you inform the school that you've got the
yeah,
rank?
yeah.
And
I
you
did. Yes,
good, good. Always makes sense to sort of let everybody who's been a part of your life know that this is what has happened.
yeah,
Good.
true.
And we'll see you again. And as with every year, we'll have a get together. We'll bring in all the people who've made it to the top schools. And we have, as every year, a very large contingent of people from CL and a particularly large one from CL Bangalore, partly because of the domicile category. I think number is already crossed 30. Let's see where it ends eventually, right? So that's it for everybody viewing. That's Akanksha for you. And please take a note of the advice that she has given. I'm sure it will help you when it comes to your prep. Thank you.
Thank you.